What's up, guys? Welcome to Mike's Garage. Today we are installing an S&B cold air intake filter. Alright, so first things first, guys, here's what we're going to need for the tools. Flathead screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver, ratchet, some pliers, 13 millimeter, 10 millimeter, quarter inch, and 5/16. We're going to start off by disconnecting the negative battery cable. We need to do this, it says, for 2 hours. So we're going to do it as long as the installation takes, and hopefully that'll work. We do this so that when we put on the new intake and it starts up and everything, it doesn't throw any kind of check engine codes. It kind of resets the computer. Alright, pardon how dirty my engine is today. The second step is we're going to take and we're going to loosen this clamp here that goes from the air box to the throttle body. Now step 3, we're going to come over here and we're going to undo these latches on the stock air box. Step 4 is going to be we're going to take the actual stock air box off, just like that. Put it to the side over here. Alright, we're going to leave it there. Now for our next step, we're going to undo some of the hoses. Mine is a 2021, so I only have the one hose here. If you have a 2020 or lower, it's going to have 2 different hoses that you're going to have to disconnect. But since this is a 2021, I've only got the one. I'm going to pull up on this blue tab and pop it right out. So in order to remove that PC valve, what you do is you grab it and you push on this blue tab here and you pull it off. So now we're just going to be able to pop that off like this. We're good to go. Now we just have the throttle body, the air intake, and we're going to move this box next. So our next step, we're going to take our 13 millimeter socket, put it right up to here, and then take that bolt out. That's what's holding in the intake box. Right now that bolt is removed. Make sure you don't damage the bushing because we're going to need it for the new box. Alright, that's the bushing right there. Don't damage that. Alright, on my model, there are no wire harnesses here. If you're a 2020 or older, you would have a wire harness that you would have to pop out here, but mine doesn't. I do want to take a minute to let's take a look at this air filter. Woo! Dirty, dirty, dirty. This has about 20,000 miles on my truck, so this definitely needs replacement. And instead of just getting a regular filter, I decided to update the whole thing. Next thing we're going to do is remove this snorkel here. I'm just going to use my flathead screwdriver to pull these out, since we won't be reusing them. If you are reusing them, you definitely need the tool to take these out and pop those buttons out. So, but I'm just going to use a flathead screwdriver today. All right, now that they've both been removed, at this point, we should be able to take and pull this whole thing off. There we go. And it just pops out just like so. All right, so this is what we're working with now. Mind you, there's 2 holes right here with bushings in them. That's going to be where our new box is going to go. That's mounting points to keep it secure. And then again, there's only 1 bolt that goes here. We will again be using that grommet and reusing that bolt in order to install it. All right, let's pull all of our stuff out of the box here. The intake box. Got the intake tube and the various other connections here. That's our piece of plastic that goes over it and all of our clamps. Alright. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this bushing out so that we can install it in the new box. Alright, so here's the new air intake box. As you can see right here on the side, that's where we're going to push that grommet that we just removed into. Alright, so the grommet's in now. In order for me to get this in here, I did have to use my screwdriver to compress the other side of the grommet to get it in, but it is in now and it's undamaged. Alright, so the next step we're going to do is we're going to take this big rubber grommet here and we're going to attach it here using one of the large clamps here. Alright, as you can see, we stuck the clamp on and we're going to tighten it up here. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this intake gasket, I guess is what we would want to call it. It's rubber. I mean, it's not necessarily a gasket, but it's the cold air intake induction side. We're going to stick it on here and we're going to put two push pins on each side, up and top and bottom. Alright, make sure you use the push pins that look like this. There's going to be two of them. They're going to go together like that. They're going to go together and they're going to push together and then they're going to lock in. You don't want to use these because these are what's going to go on the truck to secure the snorkel to the truck. Okay, those are all installed here. Push pins, make sure you push them tightly so that they lock really well. Okay, so this is your air intake tube here. Turn it around like this. So this plug here, it's the smaller plug. That one's going to be plugged up by just a little metal plug here. This is what the metal plug will look like. And it'll just go in there just like that. Alright, don't want to over tighten it, just screw it in nice. And then this right here is going to go in here on this side. And we're going to tighten it up. And this is what we need our pliers for. Just like that. I'll give this a few more turns and we're good to go to install the intake tube. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and install the air box. There's the two posts that would go in these two holes right here for support. And we're going to have to reach through the air box in order to put that grommet in there, or to put the bolt into the grommet. When you're installing the 13mm bolt, it's best to have an extension here so that you can get through to get it tightened. Alright, so it gives you two different couplers here. It gives you a straight coupler and then it gives you a step coupler. For the 2021 model, you want to use the straight coupler. If it is a 2020, it has a smaller throttle body, you want to use the step coupler. But since we're 2021, 5 liter, this is what we're going to use. Okay, so there's our throttle body, here's our coupler. I'm going to go ahead and stick it on here and then put the two clamps on, and then we'll put our intake tube on, just like that. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and unwrap our filter, and we'll just drop it in the box here. Alright, so we're just going to drop it in the box. Any way that you can. Watch these little tabs here. There it goes. And then we'll just move it here. Bring this clip here, just like that, so we can still reach it. Alright, I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to put the intake tube on next. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and put the intake tube in. Easiest way is the big part goes in first. And then once the big part is in, we'll go ahead and put it onto the throttle body and then tighten up both the clamps. Make sure that this isn't tightened already, because what you want to do is you want to shove this in all the way to here so that it reaches the throttle body. See, right now it can't reach the throttle body. And then that lip right here is what the filter goes onto. So now after we tighten both of those clamps, I'm going to go ahead and put this on here, and we'll tighten this clamp here to this. Okay, filter has been installed, clamp has been tightened. We're gonna go ahead and put this piece of plastic on now. Put the rivets here to attach the snorkel to the body, and then put the negative battery terminal on and start it up. All right, now that the filter has been installed, we're gonna go ahead and put these two rivet push pins in here to secure it to the body. We're gonna go ahead and plug in the PCV valve. And once that's plugged in, like so, then we're gonna go ahead and put the piece of, I'm gonna put this weather stripping around this piece of plastic and then put the plastic on here. You'll see that in a second. All right, so this is what the piece of plastic should look like with the weather stripping on. I'm gonna stick it right here, and we're gonna fasten it with the screws that are provided. Phillips head screwdriver. All right, the cover has been installed. Now it is time to reconnect the negative battery terminal, turn it on, and see how it sounds. All right, moment of truth. A little bit of a suction noise. That's all right. Let me pop the hood. Everything is good and sturdy. Let me see if I can give it a few revs. There's definitely an intake sound when you're pushing on the accelerator. So it sounds pretty awesome. 350 bucks, you can't beat it. A really good upgrade. Thanks guys for watching. Please subscribe. If you have any questions, please comment below. Thank you. All right, so what's it feel like driving it? It's a little more responsive. You can definitely hear the difference in the intake. The whooshing sound as the air is being sucked through. The wallet dyno tells me that I've got 5 to 10 horsepower. You know how that goes. But overall, good upgrade. Sounds a little bit better, sounds a little throatier, a little bit more throttle response. So overall, good upgrade. $350 well spent. Have a great day, guys.